Thank you guys so much for coming. Wow, this is wonderful, and we appreciate you so much. And if you're in line and you can hear me, you'll be in here soon. I'm Jessica. I want to thank you all for coming. Exactly 10 months ago today, our community in Israel was awoken to a form of terror and depravity we have not seen since the Holocaust. Tonight is an opportunity for us to come together and be bonded by the shared trauma of October 7th. Tonight, we invite you to listen to our thoughtful speakers. We have a wide range of incredible voices I encourage you to listen deeply to. We invite you to take a few moments to write a loving message to the hostages and their family members back in Israel on the printed flyers. Please walk around even throughout the speeches. Additionally, we have partnered with Rays of Light, an Israeli-based producer and artist, on an installation just around the corner. It's Sand Art Stories. There's 10 of them to mark 10 months of captivity. We also want to invite you to take home a candle tonight with the hostage's name on it. Please light it in honor of that person and do your research on who that person is and pray for their release. Now let's hear from Erin Carrere, who will lead us in the Star Spangled Banner and then the Hatikvah.
Thank you. I invite everybody to join and sing. We'll sing the Star Spangled Banner first. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you. Now I would love for you all to join in singing the Hatikvah. Actually, let's do it in a lower key. We're all doing it together. Or we're going to do it in A. Color baleva penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfatem mizrach kadima ayin lezion Sophia. Oh Lord of Tikvateinu, Hatikva b'shnot habayim, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון ירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון ירושלים.
Oh my God, thank you. I can't sing like that, so sorry. Thank you, Erin. That was beautiful. One more round of applause for Erin, right? Okay, so I'm gonna get the big thank yous out of the way, and then I'm gonna just turn the floor over to my speakers. I'll call them up one by one. The first man I actually want to call attention to is not here. His name is Paul Kessler. He, we lost him about a year ago. He was protesting for Israel, and I don't think enough was done about it. But I just wanted to call him out, make sure that his presence is here with us. And thank you to John Oswax and Tilly Friedman for coming in his name. The biggest thank you goes to Ari Mark. This is his building. I called Ari 2 weeks ago and said, can we do this? And he said, make your dreams come true. And that is the biggest mensch among men I have met. So thank you, Ari. Jeremy Goldscheider, one of the men with Artists for Israel, he and CEO Craig Dershowitz. They put this mural up in December 2023, and I think it's a testament to our strength as a people that it's still standing and it's intact. So thank you, Jeremy, and thank you, Craig. Andrew Lockman, he was so amazing for helping us get this put in place with the Culver City Police, with the Culver City Civic Center, so thank you. He's also president of Democrats for Israel, California. If you are one of those people, you should sign up. Culver City PD, Magan Am. Be secure. We have the most amazing security in town here. We are safe with them, so please feel secure in maintaining your Jewish activism, because they're here to support us. Thank you to Vice Mayor Sharona, Michelle Persoff, Jacob Berman, Pastor Aston Fish, Copenhagen Pastry next door, and our ally Sherwin from Rick Chavez's office. Our incredible sponsors, all 24 of them. That's pretty amazing. I'm gonna start bringing up some people to speak, but I also just wanted to say a big thank you for Liat Abergale. She's not gonna speak tonight, but we are here in honor of her beloved cousin, Ohad Ben Ami. He's currently in Gaza, and we will not stop until he's brought home. And the same goes for our other speakers tonight. Can we please start with Tammy? Our first speaker, she is the mother of Ron Brozlovsky, a security guard at Nova who put himself in harm's way to save the lives of others. Tammy, her family, they are also here today, and they await his release from Gaza. Tammy, we love you, we are here for you, and we'd love to hear you speak.
This is my life for the past 10 months. I'm working with warm shirts, I'm walking with my son with a poster wherever I go. Wherever I go, I'm with him, but not physically. I'm with him only in the poster. And we are going now. It's 307 days, long, long days, long, long nights that we, the family, didn't hear nothing from our kids. We don't know nothing. Where are they? What the situation with them, if they're alive, if they're injured, sick, if they eat, if even we see the daylight. I'm Tommy, Rom's mother. My son worked at the Nova Festival as security guard without weapon. People say to me, since 6:30, the first hours that the terror attacks began, on run away from place to place and save people. He didn't run away. He can easily go out from this danger area, but he chose to stay. In Bereshit, the first chapter in the Bible, Genesis, it says, God created humankind in divine image. God give the man the ability to choose between the good and the evil. He wants us to choose the good. In October 7, the terrorists, the creatures who came to us, came to our land, to our home, to our safe place ever, and murdered, raped, killed in cold blood, and didn't think twice, and even so, they glad and proud about what they do. I want to talk about Rome. Sorry, I don't speak English very well, so I need to read it. Like I said, at 6:30 in the morning, when the brutal terror attack began by Hamas on Israel, Rome understood exactly the situation and took control. I won't read it. I just talk whatever I want from my heart.
We love you for being here, that's enough.
My son Ron is not from the famous hostages that you know. I don't speak about him a lot in Israel. And I came here today to share his story with you because I want you to know who this Ron really is. I want you to know the personality of Ron. Since 6:30 in the morning until just the moment that he was kidnapped, Ron ran away from place to place and saved people, save young girls, save men, rescue and risk his life over and over again, back and forth to this terrible area, danger area, where the terrorists all over him, under heavy fire. He goes back and forth, risks himself for others that he not even known. He risks himself and don't think twice about his own life. That's what his work is. My son won't risk himself even to take dead bodies of girls and hide them, that the terrorists don't kidnap them and don't invade them. I want you to know that the last 10 months, I'm living in hell. But there's different hell. My hell, as you see me, I'm standing right in front of you, I'm talking, I'm eating, I get all the support from you and all my friends. I even smile. I go to restaurants, I can choose whatever I want. I can choose to eat, I can choose to drink, I can choose to go to the bathroom. I can choose whatever I want. But this is only my body. Inside, my soul is bleeding. My heart is bleeding, is screaming, because it's not free. My soul is in the captivity in Gaza with my son home. And I won't be free until I saw him back again, alive and safe at home. All lives in the captivity in Gaza 10 months without hearing familiar voice, without hear Hebrew, without eat, without drink. His hell he doesn't control his hell. He doesn't control his body. He can go to the bathroom without asking permission. I don't know what his situation. I don't know if he's injured or sick. When I sick, people come to me, take care of me, cover me, give me a tea. I don't know what happened to him. My heart is go out for you. I'm here today to share the story of Ron with you, because I want you to know who his Ron was. I get a lot of evidence from people who saw him, meet him. There is people who see him for 10 minutes, the others 1 hour. And they say that Ron understood exactly what he did. He know about what's going on. He understood the event perfectly, and he took control of it. He started telling people what to do, and people listened to him. One evidence came to me from Namagal. She and another 13 people hiding in the dumpster. And she said that the terrorists heard them from this height. And they came and they just shoot all over the dumpster, and all of them are murdered except she and another 2 girls. She says that suddenly there was quiet, and she heard the voice, "There is someone alive in here, there is someone alive in here." And she looked up, and this is her words. She looked up and you see my home. You see like an angel. He looked at her and tell her, "Don't worry, I'm here. I'm home. I want you to call to me, and I will pick you up, and you are going to make it." And she said she was under a lot of body. There was bodies of their friend just minute ago alive and talk to her. There was a lot of blood, and she was have a shooting gun in the breast and the leg, and she says, I'm not going to do that. I'm not coming." And Mom said to her, "Don't worry, I'm here. I'm watching you. You don't have nothing to fear. I'm here with you. Just call to me and I will pick you up and we are going to make it. I'm going to take you for a safe place." And she said that he gave her the belief that she is going to make it. And she started to call to him, and she said that home picked her, and he has abandoned on his both hands, and just picked her with his both hands and took her to the rescue area and stayed with her until the force of Masada came and took her away. They started to talk, and Om said to her, "Don't worry, Mama, you are going to make it. I am with you, I'm watching you." With all that, with a smile, with the shooting all over. And he was relaxed her and calm her. And she said, "I believe him that I'm going to do it, and I will be alive, and I'm going home." And she says, "I always pass away and wake up." And the next time that she was waking up, she was on the bus to the hospital, and Mom wasn't with her. Mom came back to save others. There is another evidence for Mark, 37 years old, told me, "Your son is such a hero. I want to tell you about him. I saw your son when we are hiding, like 50 people, and your son was the angel, the God who take care of us. He has a walkie-talkie, and he talked with him, and he said that he bring him water, and when God came to say thank you to all that he watching for them and take care of them, Mom started to yell at him, "Why are you don't fighting? Why are you just hiding and frozen, and you don't fight for your life like I do?" And Mark says, "With what? With what we're going to fight?" And Mom said to him, "Take stones, sticks, and whenever they came, throw it away, throw it on them." And Mark said, "Listen to him." And he said that the terrorists came in a group for 3 or 4 people each time, and they just throw them stones and sticks, and they get away. They run away from them, and they succeed. Mark also said there's one guy came to the hide that they've been there, and he said there's two girls upstairs and we need to help them. And once I go up and say took with them another 3 people, and they go to the direction of for the girls. And Mark said, just they are going out, to start to shooting on them all over. Heavy, heavy fire. Moshe, one security guard who was with home, said to me, we get to this 2 girls and we pick one of them and she's the last bread in our hands and we need to hide her. So this is home, this is his personality, and I want you to ask you to do something for me, because I know won't pray for himself. He will always pray for others. And I believe in a person. I believe in God, and I believe that the power is in God's hands. And I want to ask you to pray with me. I want you to look to my son's eyes. This is home. I want you to look in his eyes and tell him exactly what you are telling me here. Tell him that you are with him, that he is not alone. Look into his soul and tell him that you are going to do whatever it takes to bring him home. I want you to imagine that these eyes of my son is your son's eyes. And promise to your son that you do whatever it takes to bring him back to you, to bring him back home again. That won't be another name on another list, another number in a list. Whenever you read the list again, the list of the name of the that you pray for them, remember my son, remember his story, and pray for him and all the other hostages that soon. Amen.
A mother's love. Sure, of course. Beautiful. I'm gonna not cry if I can help it. We have an amazing set of people that are gonna come up tonight. Obviously, we are gonna be here for another hour, so we're gonna let people speak and we're gonna hear from them as long as we can, and we're gonna be patient and it's gonna be great. I wanted to kind of diversify the speakers tonight. So we obviously have family members, we have some influencers, we have some really amazing Jewish community leaders as well. The first person I wanted to call up is Elaine Chaya, however she likes to go by it, I'll call her Chaya. Elaine, why don't you come up? I know you have some amazing words that you want to say.
Here. All right. Hi, you guys. I'm Elaine Chaya. Can you guys in the back hear me? All right. Okay. I'm deeply honored to be here today. Thank you, Bring Home LA, for putting this together in 2 weeks, and for all of you guys all the way to the streets coming out here tonight. But to be honest, I wish I wasn't speaking here. I wish I didn't have to spend the 10 months on my Instagram dedicated to talking about innocent human beings who deserve to be home. And I think you guys can all agree we wish we didn't have to be at this rally, because we just want our brothers and sisters home. I'm not only a proud Iranian American, I'm also... All right, I got some Iranians in the crowd. But I'm also a proud Los Angeles native. Okay, there's more Iranians than LA natives. But I can say to you that I wouldn't be in Los Angeles or speaking here today if it wasn't because of my Iranian parents who had the strength to flee Iran during the Iranian Revolution. And their journey was not easy. And my entire life, I have wondered and I have asked them, How did you have the resilience and strength to do that? And I never understood. That was until October 7th. Because what I learned from my family's example is that even in the darkest times, there's a glimmer of light and hope. That is what gets us going through this. And I think it's safe to say that is what brought you guys all here today, 10 months later. And that is what has brought these family and friends of all of these hostages to devote their entire lives these past 10 months with this hope that we will be reunited with our loved ones. I was wondering what I could possibly say today that none of us have said in the past 10 months, because I think we have all used every ounce of our soul and words to express our hurt, anger, and disappointment. So when I'm at a loss of words, I look to Torah and Judaism as my answer. Because I can't seem to understand why Hashem, God, has put us through this agony for 10 months. And I'm not surprised to say that I was shocked, or I'm not shocked, because the number 10 is so deeply rooted in the DNA of the Jewish resilience. With some examples of Abraham having to be tested with 10 trials by Hashem to prove his faith, with Pharaoh having to be given 10 plagues in order for the Jews to be freed, for the Jews in the desert having 10 trials on them, and us receiving the 10 commandments. The number 10, the first double-digit number, is seen as a symbol of to return to unity when we've gone through trials and experiences. And while I believe nothing is a coincidence, and I talk about that a lot on my Instagram, I don't think it's an accident that this 10-month anniversary with this very message is in the Hebrew month of Av, which just started on Monday. And I've talked a lot about that on my Instagram as well, about how this month of Av is known as a time of bitterness because a lot of tragic things have happened in the Jewish history in this month. But this month also is a huge message of hope. How even in the darkest times in our Jewish history, there has been a ray of hope at the end. And my parents wouldn't have left everything behind in Iran, their family, their friends, their entire life, if they didn't have a little bit of hope that maybe their future could be better when they did not see what the future held. And I would like to say that all of us who have been posting on Instagram, coming to rallies, doing every single thing we've done the past 10 months, we would not have done that if we too did not have a little bit of hope that what we were doing would help with the hostages. The story of the Jewish people is a long history of challenges, tests, and trials that always end with us being victorious, because that too is in the DNA of the Jewish people. Yes. So while we are here enduring as a Jewish nation 10 months of pain, as Judaism and the Torah has shown us, 10 is also a signification that maybe we're nearing the end of our trials. And some might say I'm an optimist. I like to be optimistic. But I think your commitment to being here today shows that you too maybe believe that there is some hope that this will end very soon. And so during this month of Av, I'm almost done, the faith of our faith is being tested, and our doubts are being questioned, and we are being challenged to see if we can still believe in these dark times that Hashem might be able to flip our circumstances around in an instant. And what I know from history and from the essence of this Jewish people is that even in the darkest times, we have an unwavering faith that has carried us through countless trials. Your voices, your prayers, and actions have not gone unnoticed in the past 10 months. And I ask you to continue to speak up, to continue to post, continue to wear all of your amazing flags and Jewish jewelry and shirts, because one thing that we have definitely learned in the past 10 months is that we are not going anywhere, and we will not stop speaking up. So I pray that the next time we're all together, please Hashem, let that be very soon, that we can gather in excitement and joy. Thank you, guys.
Amen.
That was amazing. That was just what I needed personally. Rotem Cooper. Where is Rotem? Can we have you come up? Another family member that needs no introduction. I'm going to give him the mic and he will tell you what you need to be listening to and telling all your friends about.
Stand next to them.
Thank you everybody for coming tonight. My name is Rotem Culver. I live not too far away from here in San Diego for many years. But I was born and raised until age 24 in kibbutz Mural. My father, 85 years old, Amiram Culver, and my mother, 80 years old, Nurit Culver. They were both kidnapped from their home in kibbutz Mural on Saturday, October 7th, together with many members of the Mural community. The Mural community is what we call, unfortunately, ground zero. This is the one community in Israel that suffered more than any other community. In kibbutz Mural, we have the horrible numbers of 1 out of 4 is either murdered or kidnapped. In a community of around 400 members, we have more than 110 of people that were either kidnapped or murdered. And unfortunately, to date, we have more than 50 confirmed people that were murdered in that community. Some of them on the 7th and some of them thereafter. My mother, Nurit Culver, considered to be one of the lucky ones. She was released on day 17. That's before the first Israeli tank went into Gaza Strip. You might remember that she and Yochel Lifshitz were released during that time. A few days before that, we had Natalia Yudit Ra'anan, so there are 4 women that got released during that time. Unfortunately, the fate of my father was very different. And by early June, we were notified by the IDF that my father, Amiram Culver, along with Chaim Perry and Yoram Etzger, they're also members of Kibbutz Mural, and Nadav Popelwell, which is members of the Mural Kibbutz, the neighboring Kibbutz, Kibbutz Mural, but they're no longer alive. And more recently, you might have heard that Alex Danzig from Kibbutz Mural, he was my history teacher in high school. And Yogev Buchstor, a much younger person from Kibbutz Mural, the neighboring kibbutz. They're no longer alive, and from what we understand, they all were murdered or died in the same event. And there might have been even more people. Even though it's quite possible, still under investigation, that it was actually because of an act of the Israeli IDF. Make no mistake, Hamas is the one responsible for murdering my father, murdering Chaim Perry, Yoram Etzger, and many others. Hamas is the organization, terrorist organization that kidnapped my father in the first place, held him against his will, tortured him, and put him in danger. Hamas should be annihilated, there is no question about it, and the IDF is doing a good job at it. I'm here today because of this number. I think it's in Israel it's 307, here it's 306. It's 10 months. 10th month since October 7th, a day where more than 1,000 Israelis were slaughtered, murdered by Hamas, and more than 200 were kidnapped. And here we are, who would believe, 10 months after that day, and we still have 115 hostages in Gaza, and 33 of them are from Kibbutz Mural, from my community. So we have to do, everything we can. We still have hostages over there that are alive, all kind of estimates, but I'll say at least 30. And many of them is my kibbutz. Like Abdel Yahud She is the daughter of the Eliahud. The Eliahud grew up in the kibbutz. She's my classmates. And Ariel Cunyo is a boyfriend, and his brother, David Cunyo. And we have Ohad Yalomi, and we have Ofer Calderon, the father of Sahar and Aaron Calderon. You might remember the press release. And we have the Eitan, and Yair Horn, and more people, and Moses. And of course, we have Carmel Gad, that's on a different kibbutz, and we have many more people that are still alive. And we have to do what we can to get them out. And there have been plenty of opportunities that unfortunately, I don't know how to say, but unfortunately the Israeli Prime Minister have not acted on those opportunities. My father, he was alive when my mother was released on day 17 after October 7th. He was alive, he was held together with her in the same room with 5 other people. My father, Chaim Per, Yoram Metzger, Nadav Popovel, Alex Danzig, the Geb Buchshoff, they were all alive on day 55 when Lili Margalit was released. It's the last hostage to be released in the hostage negotiation deal. That was day 55. They're all in the same room with her. For what we know now, they will be alive against all odds many months after that, at least until February. So there were plenty of opportunities to release my father. There were plenty of opportunities to release my father, but unfortunately, the Israeli Prime Minister found a way to kill a lot of them. A lot of them were actually pushed by the US government. And again, I don't have expectation from Hamas. This is a terrible organization, it's a terrorist organization. It shouldn't exist. IDF taking care of them. It is not an excuse for the Israeli government to do so little about the hostage release cause. So, thank you for coming here today. And I would like you to join me in calling on the Israel Prime Minister, stop with the theatrical act and start doing your job. We just read in the main Israeli news that the 3 generals that are in charge of the negotiation, it's not alone, from the IDF, we have Ronen Bar from the Shabak, and we have Debbie Barnea from the Mossad. They were just quoted, and they told Prime Minister, we have a credible deal on the table now, but we feel that you don't want to take it. So tell us what to do. That's the reality. So, again, please join me. Prime Minister, stop with this gathering act. Do your job. Bring our daughters, bring our sons, bring our fathers, bring our kids back. It's been 10 months too much. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna mix up the schedule a little bit here, but Tristan Isidore, we would love to have you come up. He's a very important ally to us. We can have him come on up and speak. I see him making his way. Everyone, let's welcome Tristan up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here today. I really do wish it was under better circumstances that we were here gathering today. My name is Tristan Isidore. I don't know if we mentioned, I'm on the school board here in Culver City, and so I think that this moment is very meaningful to me, particularly because I'm charged as one of the 5 members who's supposed to be protecting our kids and families. And so to be here at this event, and to be listening to families who tell stories about the brutal things that are happening to their family members, it really does it really does weigh heavy on my heart because I can't help but reflect that that could have been my son or my cousin or my mom. And so I think we have to, as allies, make sure that we're doing work to show up in community with you all, to really not talk about anything controversial. We're not talking about party, we're not talking about politics. We're really just here to say that we need to bring the hostages home. And I don't know that that's a controversial thing. My own capacity as an individual member and as someone who deeply cares about this, I had the opportunity to join the Federation, Jewish Federation, this past summer in Israel on an educatorship with a bunch of school board members and educators pre-October 7th, and it really breaks my heart that the communities that we were able to visit, the different cities and the different people that we were able to talk to are now hiding in bomb shelters because they're being terrorized, they're being kidnapped, and that really breaks my heart. And so we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we're working in community with you all of our wonderful community partners who organized this event today, and elected leaders and community groups up and down Los Angeles County are really banding together to really make sure that we're sending a clear and strong message: the hostages need to come home.
Thank you so much. All right, Mark Blazer, where are you at? A man that needs no introduction. Come on up, Mark.
Thank you. Can you hear us in the back there? So I want to first start by just thanking a couple of really special people. First, Jess, who did an amazing job in these last few weeks putting together this event tonight. And I want to thank my friend Julia Hewitt for getting me involved, and all the people here who volunteered to make this possible. We already thanked the Culver City Police Department, Maganam, but I really want to thank the Culver City Police Department who are out here in force tonight. I want to say that with great thanks and appreciation, because unfortunately not every law enforcement agency has done a good job of protecting our community in the last few months. So I especially am grateful to Culver City, and I want to tell you that my great friend Alan Azran, who unfortunately he retired a couple years ago, but he was part of Culver City Police Department for decades, a member of our congregation, Temple Beth Ami, and his cousin Roni was unfortunately killed by a Hamas rocket 10 years ago in Ashkelon. And so for him, this was very personal. And I told him, again, I want to thank him and all the people who are currently part of Culver City. Thank you so much, and the people of the city of Culver City for making this possible. And especially, again, for the wonderful people here, for Ari and for everyone, Jeremy, who made this mural possible. So everyone, over the last 10 months that's been driving past, literally since December, that have been able to see this and be reminded every day. This is, I'm going to keep my remarks very short, because this is about our hostages and bringing them home. This is not about politics. This is not about anything else other than our people being held hostage for 10 months. Now, every day when I wake up, I put on a number. We have a lot of rituals in the Jewish community. We light candles, we wrap the fill-in. There's a lot of rituals we do. This has been my ritual for the last 10 months. And I've traveled all around the country. I've been to Nevada, I've been to Arizona, Texas, Kentucky, Tennessee. I've been all around the country. And every place I go, when people ask me, what is that number for? And I tell them, they're moved, and I have yet to have one person say something negative for having this number. But I pray that very soon, I won't have to put this on. I will tell you, if you can do things like that, if you can go and be an emissary, understand that this is also part of the front lines of this war, is right here in California. Now, we had a moment of silence for Paul Kessler. Just before we started, I spoke with his friend John Osbach, who unfortunately is not here. John is not here tonight. He had a death in the family, was not able to be here. But John was the one who, with Paul, marched there on the corner of Thousand Oaks and Westlake Boulevard. The day after he was killed, we had a press conference there at the spot of his blood. And understand that that's also the front line. Conejo Valley. Conejo Valley's here, right? Simi Valley is here, right? Yeah. Santa Clarita Valley is here in my home Synagogue of Temple Beth Ami, our president and past presidents are here. We might have San Gabriel Valley here, and I know we have the West Side and we have the San Fernando Valley here, right? Some of you came out to be here tonight. And so I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everyone for standing with Israel right now. And again, tonight, tomorrow, as we pray for the return of these hostages, I want everyone to understand that you are on the front lines of this war. You have a role to play in this, and understand that you have a very special message to give to our country, to give to your community. And I want you to know that 25 years ago, most people have forgotten this, but 25 years ago this weekend, blood was spilled at the North Valley Jewish Community Center 25 years ago on August 10th. And I saw that blood because I was at Holy Cross Hospital when those kids were brought in. So understand that you are here. You've shown your strength by being here, and you've not been afraid. So thank you for being here. Am Yisrael Chai. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
All right, Rabbi Levi begun with Justin Janison. Thank you two so much for being here.
I want to thank Jessica for putting together such a very special gathering here, and Ari Mark for giving his building to have the faces of the house. So I am Rabbi Levi Begun, Director of Chabad of Culver City, and this spot has, since October 7th, become a place where Jews from Culver City and throughout gather together. We have events here. We're having a challah bake here in honor of the hostages in just under 2 weeks. And we gather together today because we are all one body. The pain of the hostages is our pain. The pain of the families of the hostages is our pain. And when one part of the body is hurting, it affects the entire body. You know, we have to understand our most powerful tool. I recently heard a talk from Sapir Cohen, who was held hostage in Gaza for 55 days. And she told over how one day a terrorist called her over and invited her to watch TV. And she sees on the screens thousands of people, religious, secular, gathered together in the hostage square in Tel Aviv. And she said she became very excited. Why was she excited? She says because until October 7th, she saw a big division. And here she sees everyone united. And she says what was even more special was when the terrorists turned to her and said, you see, when the Jewish people are united like this, they are very, very strong. So we can't forget our most powerful tool. When our enemies see that we are united, we're one, we are unbreakable. Because we're all one body, so when we strengthen one part of the body, the whole body is strengthened. And therefore, I encourage every single one of you right now, in these moments, you close your eyes and take on a good resolution, take on a mitzvah that you're going to do in honor of the hostages. Because they don't have, their hands and feet are tied right now. And we could be their hands to do a mitzvah, to give charity, to put the tefillin and light Shabbat candles as there are Shabbat candles given out. Take on a mitzvah, take on a good resolution, and be their hands and feet. And we're right now in the 9 days leading up to Tisha B'Av, the saddest day on the Jewish calendar, when we lost both the first and the second temple. And this past year, Simchat Torah, the happiest day of the year, turned to be Tisha B'Av, the saddest day of the year. October 7th, you know, which is supposed to be the happiest day on the Jewish calendar, turned out to be the saddest. And we ask God that this year, in less than a week, that Tisha B'Av should be flipped around and become the happiest day of the year with the return of all the hostages. I'm standing here with Justin, who is a good friend of Omer Nutra. You probably heard the name, one of the 5 American hostages currently held in Gaza. And this week, Orna, the mother of Omer, asked Justin to share the story of Omer, because sharing his story is vital. So Justin.
Thank you. Ooh, phone. Yeah, so, hello, Culver City. My name is Justin Jansen, and I'm here today from New York. I literally hopped off the plane at LAX a few hours ago, so. But the reason I stand before you today is a somber one. For 306 days, 22-year-old American-Israeli Omer Nutra has been held hostage by Hamas. I met Omer when we were both teenagers in USY, which is a Jewish youth group at the time when we were about to come of age. Omer has always been a natural leader. In addition to being captain of 3 high school sports teams during our senior year, when Omer was elected to the regional presidency, that same year I was appointed to become the videographer for our region. And after the news broke that Omer had been captured, I just decided to just comb through this mountain of footage that I'd collected, and sorting through that tapestry of memories, it's just, you recognize the moments that are kind of etched into how I carry myself to this day and interact with the world. And today, we are gathered here not just to remember Omer and all the hostages, but to demand their freedom and an end to this conflict. Omer is more than just a name or a number. He is a son, a brother, and a friend. He has dreams, aspirations, and a future that has been unjustly taken from him. To the leaders and policymakers, we implore you to use your influence and resources to bring all the hostages home and help bring a lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians.
Thank you.
Thank you. I feel like I know these people now, and it's the most amazing thing. Also, a man that needs no introduction. We've got the president and CEO of JFED LA. We have Rabbi Noah Farkas.
Thanks everyone for sticking around. This is very, very important. First of all, we need to give a big thank you to Jess, a Jewish woman, a Jewish leader in the Midwest. Our community runs on good women like you, and so I want to thank you for stepping in. As the president and CEO of the Federation, it was the Federation that stepped in on October 8th, if you can remember, to begin the process of uniting the Jewish people behind Israel and behind the families of the kidnapped hostages and those who are mourning victims. It was because of your work with us that we mobilized over $40 million in less than 6 weeks to help victims of terror, displaced students. We helped pay for funerals for families who couldn't afford it. We literally put clothes on people's backs. And for the last 10 months, we have been working very hard in Israel, putting almost $1 million a week to work in rebuilding the South, helping the North, and trying to bring a sense of normalcy and strength and resiliency to the people and the state of Israel, our homeland, are united, are one heart together. Now I know that Tisha B'Av is coming, and I have heard about previous speakers talk about God trying us a little bit. I want to share with you the teaching of my teacher, of Rabbi Harold Shulwai Zichrono Livracha, that taught me that you don't find God in the tragedies and trials. You find God in the human response. God is right here. God is in the thousands of people we moved to Israel to volunteer. God is in the millions of dollars that we put to work to help each other. God is in the work every single day in kindergartens through 12th grade programs that we fight to make sure that anti-Semitism stays out of the classroom. God is in the work that we do every day on campus to defeat the encampments and to make sure that Jewish kids can go to school like every other American in this country. And God is in the work that we do together to defeat every single ceasefire resolution that has come to every city council in Southern California. Every single one we have defeated because we know we will not stop until we bring our hostages home. Now you gotta know, there's a resolution in this very city, in Culver City, that could be coming to City Council on Monday. Our adversaries are organizing very, very heavily to protest, to block, to break the law, so in order to get that ceasefire resolution passed. I'm telling you right now, the work that we've been doing behind the scenes and with all of you together, that resolution will not pass on Monday. Lastly, we've been working very hard over the summer to bring the NOVA exhibit here to Culver City. We've raised millions of dollars. And with your help, in just over a week, it will open. This is my deep invitation to each and every one of you. Please go. Please experience it. And more importantly, you need to bring a friend or two or three, those who have questioned us, those who are curious about us, those who have never understood us, need to walk through that exhibit and understand what it means in this moment for us to be together, and what it means in this moment to understand our pain. It's right over here, less than a mile from here, and in just about a week it will open. Please sign up and bring as many people as possible. It will be here through the end of October. This is our chance to show the world our hearts, our strength, and our solidarity. And just to close, there have been a lot of divisions in this country. Socioeconomic divisions, geographical divisions, political divisions, religious divisions. We know about divisions, but to me, divisions are a boring story. The more interesting story is the interconnection, the love, the unity of the Jewish people. As the rabbi said before, in quoting that terrorist who spoke to Omer, the Jewish people are strongest when we are together. The Jewish people are strongest when we stand with one heart and one strength together. It's because of our unity that we have done so much with such a little country, and so much in 10 months of fighting for the Jewish people here at home and fighting for Israel in Gaza. And it's only through that unity, only through that strength, and only through the work we do together that we can prevail. And that will not happen until we bring every single hostage home. I'm Israel.
All right, we got a few more speakers. Odin Osdill from the AJC, one of our favorite people, organizations. If I can get this. Yes, there he is.
All right.
Welcome to the stage.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Israel was not just attacked on October 7th. Israel has been under continual attack since its modern-day rebirth. And today, we stand here on the eve of another attack from Iran. All of Israel is hostage to a region that doesn't want to deal with its problems of intolerance and a greater world that allows Jew hatred to go unchecked. 7 million Jews trying to survive in the most intolerant region in the world is not the problem. Intolerance towards Jewish life is the problem. Israel is a modern country that extends people's civil rights, speech, freedom of worship, women's rights, sexual rights. These are values that are the very manifestation of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, these are not valued by many of the state and non-state actors that surround Israel. These are not the values of Iran, of Hamas, of Hezbollah. Israel is battling on behalf of these values for a world that doesn't often support it. The Jews, once again, are in the crosshairs of ideologies that are too shallow to value Jewish life, that has contributed so much to their societies so often. Whether it's Europe that sacrificed its Jews to Nazis, or a UN that too often sacrifices Israel to Islamic extremism. And the heaviest burden of repelling the growth of these demented ideologies falls on members of Israel's military and their families, and others who've lost their loved ones to Israel's enemies. Enemies who don't love life, not even the lives of their own people. Our hostages were taken in the most brutal and dehumanizing ways. We all know it. Anyone who doesn't see it, it's because they don't want to see it. Among the hostages are still 5 Americans. Omer Nutra, which someone mentioned, Idan Alexander, Sagi Dekel Chen, Hirsch Goldberg Pollen, and Keith Siegel. We don't hear about them enough, and we know why. As we fight, we have what many military strategists would consider a major handicap. We love life. It complicates our defenses and our attacks. But that's why we fight, so we can continue to exist as a people with a higher calling. And that's why what we do to bring our hostages back now says everything about us and our values. It says everything about how much we love life. And the highest manifestation of loving life is to care about our hostages and to want to alleviate their suffering and the suffering of their families, because it's our collective suffering. The suffering of the Jewish people is something that only the Jewish people can do something about. We know we can't count on others. So we must bring our hostages home, because what is home if it's not the safest place for Jews to be?
Okay, we have our last speaker, Roz Rosti. No introduction either.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. In Ein Ani Li Mili. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? And we're here tonight together because we not only stand with you, all of you, but you need to stand up for yourself right now. Standing up with them and standing up for them is standing up for yourself. Tisha B'Av. Oh my God. Tisha B'Av is now. This is it. In my entire life, I have never felt Tisha B'Av like I feel right now. Agree?
Yeah.
This is it. This is the real Tisha B'Av. This is a time of mourning like we have never, ever been through. Let's wake up the neighborhood. Let's tell them why we're here. Bring them home now. 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 That was good. We'll do it again at the end. Just because you were so good. You mean it. It's from your heart. In this moment, it is crazy what Israel is facing, being surrounded, being hit by rockets from all ends, the plan by Iran, the hostages. What more possible thing can we go through? I don't even want to ask. But in this moment, in this Tisha B'Av moment in our lifetimes, the likes of which we have never seen, we do need to do some reflection. We do need to do some work. It's time for you to recommit. So this is 10 months. How are we going to use this moment? How are we going to make this moment different? What are you going to go home and do? You came to a rally, that is so good. Your voice is counted. We're here together. Now what are you going to go home and do? What can you recommit to? I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you what we do at Stand With Us. We post their faces every single day. We tell them every single day. There is not a day that goes by that we do not live their stories and their faces. Can you help? Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, no. I didn't hear you. Can you help? Yes! Much better, guys, much better. I want to give a quick shout out to warriors here, the Emerson Fellows. Who are still with us right now, and they are warriors. They're going to take these stories and these photos, they're going to take them to school, and we will not forget, because on this day of 10 months, we are recommitting. We are recommitting. So guys, in Aina Nili Nili, if I am not for me, who will be for me? This is that moment. Tell your friends, bring them into yourself. Let us not forget for a moment what Israel and the Jewish people are going through. This is the worst we've ever seen since the end of the Holocaust. And I am a daughter of 2 survivors. We have seen this before. We have seen this danger before. We have seen this hate before. We have seen monsters. We have seen monsters like this before. This is nothing new for us. We have been here before. And they knew how to get us. They knew how to get us by taking our people and holding them and holding all of us hostage by taking our people. They knew how to get us. This is no accident. They're smart monsters. They're smart monsters. You have to hand it to them. So together, we are strong. B'yachad nenatzeach. This is that moment. Stand strong together and always remember, Israel will win. We will survive. We will thrive. I'm not done with you. You thought I was. Okay, together. Bring them home now. 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 And one more I want you to think about. One more I want you to think about. It is not only bring them home now, as though this is our responsibility or only the responsibility of the Israeli government. It is also the responsibility of the monsters, the Hamas monsters. Let us call on them to let our people go. 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 Let our people Thank you all again for being here. And one word together. Am Israel Chai. Again. Am Israel Chai. Am Israel Chai. Thank you.
Okay, that is it for our speakers. We have about 15 minutes left. We encourage you to please come on and sign posters. We're going to be sending them to the families, sending them home with the families today as well. Please come on in, introduce yourselves, make friends. And thank you guys for coming.
All right, we'll talk soon. You guys, I'll be in touch. You'll be there Friday as well? Yeah. Okay.